Hello world cuisine students, today we're going to be making salsa romesco. That's from the Iberian Peninsula, basically Portugal and Spain. I am getting my mise en place together and prepping all of my ingredients. So right now I have my hatch pepper, which is available to me locally, but many peppers will work for this recipe, including just a mild red pepper that will make the romesco very colorful and sweet tasting. But I'm using a hatch pepper, and it's going to be a little spicy. They're a little less spicy, or have a little less heat, I should say, than a jalapeno pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and get to my garlic skin. So I'm going to take my knife and just gently smack the blade, and it'll peel your piece of garlic. It takes the skin right off there. So we'll do that. And we're also going to roast our tomatoes. So tomatoes can be roasted like my pepper here. Let me just show you this pepper. Not only going to get it charred, but we're also going to make sure that it cooks on the inside. So we don't want a charred pepper on the outside and it's still raw. So we're going to try to cook the pepper as well as char it. And the tomatoes have been seasoned with salt and pepper. And we have some olive oil in there. They're going to go into the oven at 400 degrees. And these two will become roasted. We want to get a little color on the tomatoes as well. Our pepper's just about done. I just want to turn it one more time. You see that it's nice and pliable and soft. We know that it's getting cooked through. And we're going to add mint to our romesco. I'm going to get some of these. This is fresh from my garden, so I do some organic gardening. We need about a tablespoon and a half of fresh mint for this recipe. I like to stack the leaves. And initially I like to do a chef nod, so I roll up the leaves, but we are going to mince this in the end. I'm moving that knife forward, watching my fingers, using my knuckles as a guide. We have a nice chef nod. We are going to go ahead and mince, so you just run your blade through, holding the tip. Got my towel underneath the board so it stays stable. That's looking pretty good. I'm not a huge mint lover and savory, so I'm not going to do the whole tablespoon and a half. That's about 2 tablespoons. And our pepper is ready. So once you have it charred, you put it into a bowl, and we're going to cover it. With some saran wrap. Let it steam in there. That will steam the skins right off. And we'll take the seeds out and coarsely chop it and put it into our food processor. Our tomatoes are in the oven getting roasted, and if you wanted to use a mortar and pestle, at this point you would take your seeds or your nuts. We're going to use seeds because they're friendly for nut-free cooking, and you could put them in your mortar and pestle and take those down to a powder. Today we're going to be actually using a food processor, but I wanted to show you this method as well. It's way more traditional than the food processor. So my pepper has been steamed, and I've taken the seeds out and also the skin off. And our tomatoes are roasted. We have a nice little char on them. So while we're waiting for those to cool off, we're going to go ahead and prep our vegetables to grill. So we're going to go ahead and go at an angle, and I'm going to be creating some diagonal cuts. And again, moving that knife from front to back and trying to maintain the same consistency and thickness so that they all cook evenly. Using my knuckles as a guide. These are going to grill really nice. We're going to put some olive oil in there and some salt and pepper. grill top going. It's getting nice and hot. Also, these are really nice. I like to get squash when they're smaller because they have very few seeds and they're still really tender. And that is when they are best. I'm trying to get the same thickness as our squash. And we're also going to do some green onions. So green onions, make sure you wash them thoroughly. All of these vegetables have to be washed prior to touching my cutting board so I don't cross-contaminate. And with onions, you're going to take off the little root and most of the tougher green part. And that's going to make a really nice vegetable to dip into our romesco. So let's go ahead and get the romesco made. Time to grill our vegetables. So I've added some olive oil and salt and pepper to the green onions, squash and zucchini. Let me get them on my piping hot grill here. Some nice char marks and green onion. That's all going to go very, very quickly. You can also do this on your grill outside. While it's still grilling season. There we go. That's good. And while our vegetables are grilling, we're going to go ahead and finish up our romesco. So I've taken those pepitas and I've got them into a paste. Into that we're going to add my pepper, garlic, peppers, salt, vinegar, and let's turn this into a paste. I have to start on low and we'll really give it a whirl here. There we go. Let's check that consistency. We're looking for a paste. We can go a little bit longer. It's time to cook those vegetables. You're going really fast because I got this really tiny pot. Very, very hot. Remember to go ahead and pre-season your vegetables with your olive oil and salt and pepper prior to putting them on the grill. This will help with sticking. Coming up really nice. We don't want them to turn much, just get a nice little char on. Oh yes, that's a paste. Now we're going to add our roasted tomatoes and seeds on the tomatoes. And now the olive oil. This is your binder. We're going to go nice and slow. Let's try our salsa romesco. got nice color and consistency. A lot of flavor. This sauce would go great with fish or chicken or just fresh vegetables. Enjoy.